Russia striking out against another vital route for shipping food from Ukraine to countries in need. Moscow attacked port facilities along the Danube River overnight near NATO member Romania. Ever since Russia blocked Ukraine from using the Black Sea, Ukraine has been exporting grain on the Danube via Romania. Well, meantime, in Kyiv, local officials say they downed several Russian drones. I want to get you back to CNN's Nick Paton Walsh, who is on the ground from Zaporizhia in southern Ukraine. Nick.
Yeah, these strikes a significant moment really for the NATO alliance, the closest that Russia's got to hitting a NATO member. The grain facilities, storage, ports and otherwise on the banks of the Danube that separates Romania from Ukraine. And that coupled with strong protests launched by Poland and what they said was to Belarusian, an ally of Russia, military helicopters getting into their airspace does mark, it seems, a bid perhaps by the Kremlin to taunt the NATO alliance to its west that is not in the war. Their narrative suggests maybe that is the case. Instead, it's backing with military assistance and training Ukraine. But a lot of that is focused on the south in the intense counter-offensive that Ukraine is renewing, pushing harder in at the moment. And we have some extraordinary footage of the fates, two different fates of soldiers on the front line. A Ukrainian saved by a drone, extraordinarily, but also a Russian commander abandoned, it seems, by his unit, declared dead in Russia, yet surviving and receiving Ukrainian care. Here's the story.
It is usually only the dead lying here, in the craters of Ukraine's southern front, but sometimes a glint of life shines. This drone spotting a Ukrainian soldier, Sergei, separated from his unit. Wounded in the chest and leg by shelling, he filmed this as he lay alone, bleeding. He feared whatever fight to live he put up would not be enough, he later told CNN from his hospital bed.
I was ready to fight for my life, and I did, even lying there under the blazing sun. I realized I was too close to the Russians, and you even start to look at your gun in a different way.
But the drone operators had other plans. They attached water, medicine, and a note to the drone and sent it back. It found him again and dropped the package. But he didn't know if it was friendly or a Russian bomb.
All the time I was crawling, a drone was always hovering above. We didn't realize if it was friend or foe. It was a lottery.
This is the moment he realizes the drone may save him. The water and medicine kept coming, easing the pain that was visible even from up high, and then he crawled back to safety.
The combat medics who gave me first aid when they found me were very surprised I survived for 2 days with a pierced lung.
Sergei's recovering and talks now of a new life with greater value and purpose. They don't want to leave anyone behind, said the drone operator. Every life is important to us. I could not live with myself if we just left someone behind in the field. Probably only several miles away, salvation was uglier. Here is a Ukrainian assault by the 15th National Guard on a Russian position. It is ferocious and eventually forced a dozen Russian troops to pull back. Artillery had injured the Russian commander badly, and the Russians left him behind, presuming he was dead. But this video supplied by Ukrainian forces shows they found him alive. And he received medical treatment. We're not naming him for his safety, but he was later awarded a posthumous medal, according to Russian media reports. Left behind and declared dead by his comrades. The Ukrainians who found him say he may have wished he didn't survive. We said, "Don't try anything or you'll die," he says. And he asked us to shoot him. And we offered him a chance to do it himself, but he said he could not do that. He's an enemy, and I had no real desire to save him, but orders are orders, and they have our guys, and we can swap prisoners.
Приказ командира є приказ.
Як для людини, мене це вразило.
As a human, another says, I was shocked that they had left him behind. But as a soldier, I know my enemy, and I know it's not an uncommon practice for them.
Новинкою це часто.
The opposite fates on different sides in these wide, ugly expanses of violence.
Becky, it's fair to say that casualties on both sides here during this southern push in the counter-offensive are quite bad. Grueling for Ukraine, likely visibly experiencing a lot of pressure from its NATO support to achieve results on the front line. It is slow, mines in the way, progress reported to some degree daily, and we don't have full transparency as to how far Ukrainian forces have indeed got, but certainly the losses, as you can see there, significant. Becky?
Yeah, absolutely. Nick, appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed.